Good evening. My name is Elizabeth Campbell, and tonight we're going to talk about books. Not ebooks, but real books, and why we still need them. So, just about everybody today has some form of e-reader or a device that can read an ebook, but they're not books, not printed, bound books. They're not the same. Real books are special. There's a sound, a sight, a smell, a sensory experience to reading a real, physical, bound book. You just don't get that from an e-reader. So why are ebooks so popular? They're affordable. They're accessible. You can take your entire library with you wherever you go. The cost is normally less for an electronic version of a book than an actual printed book. And there's lots of options to get ebooks for free without having to go to your library. But, as I said, they're still not books. Real books are heavy. You definitely can't carry an entire library with you in your pocket. And they're costly. As I said, they cost more than an electronic book. But you can go to your local library and get books for free anytime. But the good part, they're a physical real item. You own them. They're a possession. You can show them off to people. There's an experience, as I said before, to reading a book. The sound, sight, smell. You walk into a library and all those volumes and volumes of books, you can smell them, you can see them, and you can feel them. It is a full sensory experience. And one place where they're definitely better than an ebook. They don't need batteries. There's no cords, no batteries, just you, your book. Open it, shut it, it's always there. So why do we still need them? There's good things about them, but ebooks are everywhere. Well, books are important. Books are important to culture. They're a tradition. We grew up, we had books read to us, and we read them. Picking up a copy of Winnie the Pooh on your iPad is just not the same as picking up that storybook and sitting down and reading it to a child, or a child picking it up and reading it themselves. I had a copy of The Secret Garden. I read that book over and over as a child. I still have it. And while I have an electronic version, it's not the same. It does not have the same emotional attachment as my copy that I took everywhere and read. Books allow for an escape from reality, a more intense escape than what you get from an electronic book. You can get absorbed into that world, be somewhere else, be someone else. And when you're done and you want to come back to reality, just close the book. When you open it, it's still going to be right there waiting for you. You can fall asleep with a real book and not have to worry about what you're going to do to an electronic device. No worry of breaking a screen or a device overheating. Just lay down, relax, doze off. It's okay. You wake up, your book's still going to be there. Might be a little worse for wear, but you're not replacing hundreds or thousands of dollars of electronic equipment just because you relaxed. And the bookshelf. Bookshelf in a home, a business, or a library is that large physical representation of ourselves, our culture, our history. It shows everybody around you things that you're interested in, things that you've learned, places you have been. And they are real. They're there in front of you. When you see the books on the bookshelf, it makes you want to pick them up and read them. Far more than when you see them in a list on an electronic device. Beyond that, children need real books. It has been shown in many studies that real books are better for developing attention spans in children, and they are better for brain development. We use a different part of our brain when we're reading a physical book than when we're reading on an electronic screen. When children are encouraged to read books, they learn more. Children who read get better grades in school. They are more engaged in their environment, and they have a sense of ownership of that book that makes them more encouraged to read it. And we all know kids learn better hands-on by physically doing things. This applies to real books too. They learn more from them. Not just kids though. We all benefit from a real book. We share them with our friends. I can pick up a book and I can hand it to my friend and I can say, hey, you've got to read this. It's a lot easier than sharing something on an electronic device. We can write in them, share our thoughts, feelings, and emotions that we have developed as we've read them. And it's okay because it's your book. Don't write in a book from the library. That could be bad. But you get the point. You can share your thoughts right there on those pages. When someone sees you reading a book, they see that title, they know what you're reading. You can encourage a conversation or just show them something that you care about. They're better for your health. Our eyes are less strained when we read real books than when we read on an electronic screen, no matter how high-tech that electronic screen is. And books encourage deep reading, which is related to deep thinking. Deep thinking is a state of intense concentration. And when we're in that state, we more effectively retain the information that we are reading. Bookstores are a part of our community. Without them, we'd be missing something. You walk into Barnes and Noble, you see all the books, all the different things you can read about. It makes you want to read more. It's a great experience. And libraries. One of my favorite community library programs is the Little Free Library, where books are given and taken and shared among others at no cost. So I really do believe we still need books. They support our health, our learning, and our communities. And they allow us to show the world that we hear, we see, and we think. Thank you.